I want to be loved. I want marriage. You know, a lot of us get on here, we act tough, and we be like, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, but I want him. I want.
Hi everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. Today's topic, it's not going to really be an easy topic for me, not because I have a hard time talking about it, but because, I'm going to look like I'm not compassionate, and that's simply not true. So I'm going to share the clip right here, and I will come back to give you my point of view.
I want to be loved. I want marriage. You know, a lot of us get on here, we act tough, and we be like, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, but I want him. I want to be loved. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. The problem is, and I'm not crying, y'all, because I'm saying I'm crying, y'all, because it's like a release right now. But the problem for me, y'all, is that all the relationships that I had with men were not about love. It was about survival for me. I know how to fuck. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to seduce a man. I do not know how to love a man.
As harsh as this is going to sound, I don't care about her tears. I don't. And the reason being is because 20 years ago, I say that a lot on my channel. This was before YouTube. I used to spend a lot of time online in forums, and a lot of what I talk about on YouTube is what I was talking about 20 years ago. And I remember trying to talk to young women, and I wasn't even married at the time, but I knew mostly married women around me. And I used to tell young ladies, get married. I sound like a broken record. I know I do. Get married, then have your children. The pushback that I got from women that look like me, pick me, mind your own business. Everybody doesn't need to be married. I ain't pressed to be married. All kinds of just ugliness would come out of these women's, well, wouldn't be coming out of their mouths. They would, be typing it out. I've never seen so much hatred and pushback against marriage from any other race of women except Black women. And I grew up in a predominantly white community. And even sometimes in real life, I ran across a few, Black women in real life who, I ain't pressed to be married. I don't need to be married. But you talk to those white women, and it's one-on-one, it's you and her, and we're talking amongst each other. Yeah, I want to get married, and settle down and this, that, and the other. And 100 times, 100%, those women did not have children. The Black women, they would have their kids or whatever, and it would be just confusion in their lives. They would come to work angry and mad. But let's talk about this woman. I guess kudos to her for being accountable. This is something that we rarely see with single mothers. But the reason why I do not have that much compassion for her is because not just myself, but there are plenty of other, not many, platforms of Black women who took the traditional route, who got married, then had their children. We're trying to talk to the young ladies who have not crossed that bridge yet, who have not had children with Pookie, Ray Ray, Dusties, and Gloctavius. We try to talk to those women, and even now, I still get pushback. It's always some mad, bitter, everybody don't need to be married. Stop telling these women they need to be married. And y'all listen to those women, and then you end up like the lady in this video. Again, kudos to her for being vulnerable. But honestly, I wouldn't trust her. I don't think a man should deal with her until she gets the help that she needs, because a man is not there to make you happy. A man is supposed to be an asset to your already content, happy life. And y'all already know how I feel about men coming into stepdad situations. And why women will not use these types of women as cautionary tales is baffling to me. My mother was my cautionary tale. I was raised by a single mother. And so you have a lot of women that might be like, stop bashing us, stop talking to us about single mothers. What do you have? You don't even have a dog in this. Actually, I do. I was raised by a single mother, so I know exactly what it's like to be that child longing for a dad. I didn't even know that I was missing my father until I was trying to be in a relationship with men. And so a lot of times you have a lot of women, particularly black women, who act like they don't understand the ramifications of being a single mother. It's more than just being a single mother in theory. There is a lot of moving parts to this. There's emotional ties, meaning an impressionable little child, they need that male, masculine energy. You don't get the proper balance just having your mother. And particularly if you have a mother that has her own struggles and issues, and she's mad at men and she hates men. And unfortunately, a lot of us young women, well, I'm not a young woman anymore, but I used to be, a lot of us, we got bad news about men. That's not how I wanted to word it. We got bad news about men before we even dealt with a man. We might have grew up with a mother saying that men, they're worthless, they hurt you, they're useless. I know I did. And it took me paying attention, and I've said this before, it took me paying attention to women around me who grew up with a dad, who then went on to get married, and they're in, content marriage, average marriage, happy marriage, maybe I was going to say not so happy marriages, but I don't know too many, I would, say unhappy marriages. Marriages is about ups and downs, but that's another topic. So my dog in this fight is what prompts me to come on YouTube to try to talk to young women before they get to this point. I'm not just talking to hear myself talk. And I also know that you can't reach everybody, because every woman out here thinks that her, is extra special, and the man is whispering sweet nothings to her, right? So he can get the panty drawers, and then she ends up pregnant, and then here she is, a single mother. When I try to tell young women, get married, it makes a difference. It literally makes a huge difference when you get married first and you have your children. And you know why I'm bold in my stance? Because you got women in the sisterhood who could talk about the color of their bunghole. Don't I say that? Talk about what they're doing sexually. You have a whole musical artist who admitted to drugging men so she can rob them. Y'all know who I'm talking about. These women can come online and talk about all kinds of debaucherous, trifling, whorish stuff, but people will take an issue with me trying to encourage young women. You could get married to a nice guy and build your life with him. So going back to this young lady, it's hard. I'm hard pressed to feel for her, because she looks to be, I'm sure when I used to be online talking to young women, she was probably a little girl. So I was probably talking to her mother's age. And this is something that a lot of black women do not instill into their children. And I plan to do another video on men and instilling into their boys because of this comment that I got from this woman. But that was my topic for today, and I'll talk to you later.